Yes, 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 ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you to another episode of Coach E Game 4. All seasons brought to you by Perfect Time Fitness with your boy Coach E, local neighborhood high school basketball coach, local neighborhood high school track coach, local neighborhood high school football coach, also most importantly, co-CEO El Presidente at Perfect Time Fitness and Meal Prep head trainer at Perfect Time Fitness, Byway, Fit Circuit, all up in that thing. www.perfecttimefitness.com is the website. Go ahead and check it out. Get what you got to get, do what you got to do. Communicate with us. Let us know what you want to do. And you can watch this episode with the link on that website and on the YouTube channel, Coach E's YouTube channel. Type in Coach E Game for All Seasons. Click search. Go ahead, click on every episode you want to see. Other content there as usual to go see and check out. But now we got all that stuff out the way. I got two assistant coaches on the left and my right. On the left hand side, I got White Sox Zen. What up, sir?
Yeah, South Side, South Side. All right, so let's see. You know, watching these football games, I got so many things going through my mind. I'm trying to make sure which one I want to pull out right now. All right, so it's watching these games this Sunday. So this Sunday, the Bills and the Chiefs, which we'll get into, but Tony Romo just kept saying this name over and over again. Elam. Elam, and how Elam kept getting beat time after time after time and was playing off 10 yards and whatnot and just getting exploited basically by old Pat Mahomes. Got me to thinking, Coach E,
Yay.
have you ever been in a game where you got cooked? You didn't come with your best stuff that day, man, and you had to go in the locker room at halftime and see your brothers in the locker room. Like, whew, all right, man, that was a bad first half, and we get it together in the second half, and go back in that second half, and it still continues. And then you got to go back in that locker room after the game, after the loss, and you got to face your brothers again, man. So I got to ask Coach E, man, what would you say in the, to balance it out? What would you say in your memory bank? What would you say was your worst game you've ever had? And to balance it out, go ahead and give us what would be your Al Bundy moment? What would be your favorite memory as a player?
I'm going to stick to high school on both of those subjects because college, uh, it wasn't too many of those moments, but I definitely remember one moment, 10th grade, playing basketball against St. Edward. That was the Steve Logan, Sam Clancy, Steve Laporte team. I had to
Squad.
I had to check Steve Clancy. Mind you, I'm in 10th grade. He's a senior, about to go to USC on a full basketball scholarship. I mean, he just was killing me. There was nothing I could do. Mind you, people, I'm 6'4". He's 6'7", 6'8", 240 at the time. I mean, just slam dunking everything, just grabbing every rebound. I'm trying to box him out, not working, just jumping over me, just elbowing me. I was elbowing back, but it didn't phase him whatsoever. Little kid elbows. That's what it looked like. That's what it felt like to him. Clearly, not phased by it. So, went into halftime, just like you said, like, yo, do we need to double with you or something? Like, you need some help? And I kept it all the way real. I said, hell yeah, I need some help. Y'all see what's
Yeah, that's
going
good.
on? I'm not about to hold no punches here. He is killing me. Next thing you know, they tried to double. They got some of them elbows. They got some of them dunks. I ain't get a double no more after that. So I just, luckily, it was too far out of reach. They sat down in the middle of the third quarter, so I ain't had to get it all four quarters. Pause. But that did not go the way I imagined it or I wanted it to go. Now, my Al Bundy moment, rewind that to my ninth grade year. That's when we played Euclid, and they had a center by the name of Lee Nasi. He was 6'10". He was a senior. I was a freshman. Once again, I'm playing center. Got to guard him. He got to guard me. Coming in, don't know. You know how you young, you just come in and play and don't pay attention to nothing. You just playing your ass off, trying to impress everybody that's watching. Dude, I put 26 and 12 on him, and we got the win. And I remember distinctly in the third quarter, subbing back in, sitting on the floor right in front of the scorers table. And the coach, the Euclid coach, looked over and was like, "Hey, you a freshman?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh my God, we got 3 more years of you." I'm like, "Yes, you do." No, I ain't gonna front. He still had 20 and 10 on me, but for me as a freshman, giving a 6'10" center, a senior, 26 and 12, I think that's a great day at the office. So that's my Al Bundy moment right there.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's
That
good.
was
What's
good.
good, fellas?
What is?
On the right hand side, he claimed he cold, but me and Zen know him to a T. We think it's a little bit more. So we might as well find out what's going on with BC Rogue Cleveland Cavs hat on. What's up, BC?
What up, man? No, it's no gimmicks. I'm cold. I'm actually cold. I got this heated blanket on. And it's got Sherpa on the inside. It feel good. But yo, ain't nothing there. But Cavs. I wore this hat because it's a lot of fairy weather fans leaving the bandwagon faster than aliens leaving Earth. So I'm still here supporting my Cavs. Still number one. Not your boy, but your favorite grown ass man, Mr. Taboo Timmons. And believe it or not, no gimmicks. I'm just cold.
So can you go
What's
back
up?
into that? Can you go back into what's on the inside of that? What was that word you used?
Sherpa. Sheep's ass. Sheep's ass. See
Oh,
that?
oh,
Sherpa.
okay.
Sherpa. And it's heated. Oh, I feel good and cozy. I never get cold. People who know me know I don't get cold. I get in freezers and take ice baths. But today, for some reason, I am frozen. I even went outside the other day. I took my shirt off. I was about to send y'all the video, but I was like, no, that's a bad idea.
Yes, it is.
Diddy has ruined it.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Diddy has ruined it for heterosexual males to share in shirtless behavior. So I was like, no, especially after listening to the last episodes. I'm thinking of all my bad ideas, and I'm just trying to make a difference. That's it. That's it. So what's up, man? What's up with y'all, man? My team's in the Super Bowl. What's good? What we talking about? I'm ready to talk.
Well, we'll get to that. But Coach E got us gonna kick things off for us tonight.
Yeah, B, I was looking at the news for the past couple days, even a week, and your friend is getting real active in the office, man. I'm talking about active. And Vanilla Ice has a group, a coalition that regulates things. Ice, baby. Anybody get it?
Yeah, got you.
Yeah,
Too cold.
yeah. That wasn't a good one, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, right. But Ice has been very, very busy with this deportation thing, man, getting all these illegal immigrants up out of here. He said he was going to do it when he was running for president. Now that he's in there in the Oval Office, immediately getting to work trying to find all the illegal immigrants that he can to get out of this country. So, B, do you agree with this stuff? Not only do you agree with it, are you happy about how fast that he's doing it, or do you have a problem with it? What's your stance on that?
I have been having this same discussion, and I have a solution for the people who are so upset about the immigrants being deported. First and foremost, before I get to that, look, it's like this. It's tough. It is a tough scenario. Busting up in churches and busting up in schools, traumatizing the kids and church folk. No, I do not agree with that. Go ahead and try to, work around it. Wait a few minutes. Do what you gotta do later on. But on the flip side, it is a process, people. The people have forgotten that it's a process to citizenship. And what really pains me is that other countries do it. Me and my mama, again, battling and arguing. She like, yeah, the Canada, the Canadian president had to come over here because, Trump with the felony couldn't go over to Canada. Well, Canada, they filter who comes into their country. Folks with DUIs cannot go to Canada. Certain people with all kind of any kind of stuff, they cannot legally go to Canada. Other countries, they filter the borders. We have to get back to filtering the borders, people. No, we don't have to do it all crazy, but it's a crazy situation. Uh So you can go through the process. You can get a work visa. I've known several, especially Indian fellas, that they got citizenship through work visas. And for all you people that just love it so much, start marrying them. Start marrying them. That's marry. Find you a foreigner immigrant, marry him. Because mama, I'm talking to you because you want to say, well, Trump and Vance, they wives is foreigners. Yes, they are. You watch 90 Day Fiance. You could marry you a foreigner and keep him here in the States. Yes, it will work. So that's my stance on the E. Folks is talking crazy. You gotta. It's something that's got to be done. No, it's bad. I get it. It's a whole lot. And one more thing we have to stop doing is saying these businesses are being victimized because let me tell you something with these businesses. Some of them, not all, what they was doing to these people who's taking less wages. They were paying them. They were giving them bad work conditions. It's stories of them packing 15 in an apartment and then having them work for like $2 an hour and all kind of crazy stuff. So these businesses just gonna be affected. Yeah, you gotta raise your rates. You gotta pay. So I'm gonna say that's it.
Peep this, B. You just hit something on that one. Imagine how bad it's got to be in their countries that conditions like that was acceptable to them to where that's an upgrade for them. I'm just and
Yeah,
also with
exactly.
this whole filtering thing, the filtering is really only for one part of the country and for certain types of people. And we know this is basically for Hispanics and Latin descents. That's what it comes down to. You said your Indian folks, your Asian folks, they ain't gonna be affected by this. I'm pretty sure. I'm positive. They ain't the ones that they trying to put together on planes to ship out of here. But that's just my piece. But Coach E, I ain't trying to
I
step
mean,
on you,
if
brother.
they're
Go
illegal,
ahead.
they're illegal. Then they get swept up too. If they're
They ain't getting
illegal,
swept up. You know they ain't getting swept up. It's only one.
how we
It,
know?
it is only focused on one type of people. Just like
Why do you think
racism
so?
is focused
So
mainly
you
on
think you
us
telling me
as
you think
black
this
folks.
is
It's
racism?
concentrated on us. The same thing is being applied when it comes to this whole we gotta filter our borders. But that's cool.
So
We
this
gonna
is
be
racist.
different. We're gonna be on different. We're gonna be on opposite sides on this.
No, we are. I know
Agree
when
to
you pick,
disagree
when
on
y'all
that
pick
one.
these topics, I knew what time it was. I'm just saying, how is this racism? How is it racism?
Bruh,
It's a
because
path
it's
to
not
citizenship.
it's only
So they can't
focusing
become
on one
citizens,
types of people.
but them
This
one
whole
types of
thing
people
is
can't
centered
become
on
citizens.
one certain types of people. That's
They
what
can't
I
take the
said my
classes,
piece. I said my piece. I'm gonna hush.
but they can't take the classes and have that same path to citizenship.
It ain't just them, but like I say, it's gonna be mainly focused on them. But that's cool.
I'm just
It's
saying.
gonna be mainly focused on them and folks
But
that's
this is
from
the
us
funny
because
part.
we the ones eating cats and dogs. The
But
people of our descent.
they
But that's
can't
but
have the
anyways.
right path. Why, why can't I ever get this question answered? I'd be like, they can't go to have the right path to some citizenship. They don't have the chance to do it.
No, they
Nobody ever
do.
wants to answer that question. Exactly. So the
But
people that are making these arguments are never saying that they have the same path to citizenship. Why is that?
I don't think it's that so much.
Yeah, but
But I agree with what Zen is saying that clearly is Mexican driven. Because that's who he's always talking about in all his speeches. That's who he always makes fun of, and that's who he always refers to when he says illegal immigrants. And just like Zen said, he never says that about any Chinese or Japanese or Asian as a whole, Indian, Arab, anything. It's just always Mexicans. And if you look at all America, that's all they focus on with the illegal immigrant statements or thoughts or illegal job workings or anything like that. Nobody else is targeted. So I totally agree with you with that, was in that it's totally focused on them. Why? I don't know. Why everybody else is not included, I don't know. But then again, on your side, B, yes, they can get citizenship and they should follow every single step possible to get citizenship. But they've been in this country so long, they've been so comfortable and they adapted to so many American ways that the American people see them as one of us already, and they don't think about like, oh, they don't have their citizenship. They feel just like Zen said, they had so many bad situations over there in their homeland that the American people are so welcoming that they are willing to accept them and do the jobs that they don't want to do. They know they're here to do that, so why not give them a break and keep them here because they're doing stuff that I don't want to do. If they leave, then I got to do what they're doing, and I don't want to do that. So let's just keep them here. They ain't bothering nobody. That's pretty much kind of like the answer that I've been hearing from so many people and seeing on so many social media posts or just the news period whenever they interview somebody, especially about with this local situation at that cilantro restaurant in Cleveland Heights, where they went in there and got about 20 people. They still haven't confirmed it, but it's a story for a reason. So I take that as the confirmation. But that's just what they were saying. This is a community thing. We've known them for so long, and it's just not right that they just got to come in here and get them and try and ship them out. But then that goes to your side, B. There's ways that you can do it, but I'm kind of like in the middle. It's not bothering me at all if they're legal or if they're not illegal. I know it's a law and I know it bothers certain people, but me personally, I really don't care. As long as it's like the ones that's not doing the crime or not messing anything up or something like that, I really don't care. If they just here working their ass off because they want the American dream, what is sold to the whole wide world, and that's why they target this to come here to get a piece of that because they can't have that wherever they come from. So why not? I mean, I don't care, but I just know that's a hot topic, and I know especially since he's here, he gonna try and prove a point and flex his muscle on those certain kind of people, and that's what he's doing. That's the sad part.
And before you jump in, B, that's another thing that I'm gonna say this real quick. That's another thing. Making up this boogeyman stuff. Like, man, that these are drug cartel folks coming over, and these are some of the most malicious people that's coming over. It's some BS. And that's another thing that I have a problem with. Can they? Yeah. Hey, they taking a chance coming through and doing that. I'm with you. I can see you part way with that.
Mhm.
But desperate times calls for desperate measures, man. They situations and they home countries isn't the best, and they need escape. Hey, they coming in and taking those chances, and yeah, they getting caught and getting shipped back out, unfortunately, and got to go back to worse conditions. I feel for them, especially like E saying, especially if you coming over here, you trying to get a job, be gainfully employed, and do the right thing while you here and not cause any trouble. I'm like, what does it really affecting me in the end? To me, the root of the why you want them out is just basically because of their descent. That's basically what the cause. It ain't like this is really a problem. Maybe you can enlighten me, B. Is where's the issue with these people being here? Yeah, you get some that's some criminals, and I'm with E. You got to kick them types out or whatever, but that's gonna come with any groups of people that come over here. Some's gonna be good, some's gonna be bad, but for the most part, most of these people, they ain't doing nothing wrong. They just trying to make a better way for themselves and their family. But I just wanted to say that piece real quick.
That's good. That's really good because I heard the violin playing in the background, and look. It's like this. You said the boogeyman MS-13s is gangs that they have been documented for being arrested. Venezuelan gangs. You got gangs that took over the complexes in Aurora, Colorado. It was another spot they come in and just took over. Plus down in Springfield, you had a resource issue. You had folks down there, the people in the neighborhood. They living their lives. Yeah, it was a mass exodus in Springfield. It was a lot of jobs that needed to get filled. They came in, filled up the jobs, but the people that was living there, they ain't signed up for all them people coming over there, man. They just because it was their neighborhood. It's just it's their neighborhood, and it's a process.
Hold on, B.
What?
Before you continue on, you said coming into their neighborhood, just their presence being there.
No,
Did they
so
do something with their presence? That's what I'm saying. I
yeah,
need the full story. Paint the full picture
I'm
for
getting
me.
there. I'm getting there. I'm gonna paint the full picture. The veteran down there that was used to going to the DMV, now instead of going down there on the afternoon and getting in and out, he gotta wait because there's 200-300 damn people in the line trying to get driver's license. Secondly, the difference of cultures, all of them getting driver's license crashing, and then this is nothing that's made up. This is stuff you can actually look up in the citizens. It ain't got nothing to do with race because it was black citizens that was there too saying, hey, look, these folks over here with their cultural differences that's overrun and flooded a resource lack a place that lacked the resources. They couldn't support all of the people that was there. So now you put this stress on the other people. Of course, you got traffic, you had accidents. One accident was deadly because one of them hit a damn school bus and killed some kids, but they ain't talking about that. They focused on what they were talking about, old cats and dogs. No, what they were saying, one crazy lady reported that, but other people were saying, like, look, they cooking geese up in the front yard. And these was people that was having a doggone what they call them with all the people, a town hall. They was having that, and they like, man, they cooking because that's part of their culture. Now that's not something we do, but if you and y'all might not feel this way, but if I come outside and my neighborhood is overrun and now old buddy is cooking geese outside, I'm like, man, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not what I signed up for. And I'm sorry, I might sound bad, but since y'all love him so much, marry him. Go on, get you one, Zen. Go on, marry you one.
They cooking, and that's what they used to. That sounds like a simple conversation to me that needs to be had, man, and say, all right, you can't do that here, man. You got to do that inside your house, or if you're gonna do that in your backyard.
They
That's
was
just seem like
trying
a
that.
simple conversation right there that could be had to let them know you ain't at back home no more. But go ahead, eat my bad.
Yeah, the people was trying that. Go ahead, E.
Yeah, but and from that conversation that needs to be had, does that mean they need to leave because they're doing that? Everything you just named and said, that just doesn't
What
sound like
too?
a reason to just kick
I
somebody
wasn't
out of
done.
the country. I mean,
I wasn't done.
just from the start of that list, because somebody had to wait because it was 200 people in the BMV trying to get licensed. That's not like
Plus the
a life.
resources. Again, going back to resources, some of these sanctuary cities, they're going bankrupt because some of the immigrants didn't have places to go. They was on the streets. You look it up. New York, Chicago, they had to put them up. It was an instance where in New York, they had to shut down a school because they needed a place for them to go. I mean, it's resources. It's a resource thing, and then they providing some financial support to some of these guys. Some of them they allow them to buy houses, all this stuff, which I got no problem with if you go through the proper channel. That's all I'm saying, because I'm not saying they got to be banished forever. Go through the proper channel. And if you get denied, you get denied. But at least you went through the proper channel.
Okay, so with you saying that, I'm gonna get on the other stuff, what you said before, but why not get them together instead of getting them together to ship them off? Why not get them together to help them get their citizenship? But then, if you just, like you said, if they don't pass or if they don't get qualified, then do that. But at least try to help them first. This is America, Jack. This is what we're talking about. This is America. We're supposed to be helping them, especially if they are helping us. All the stuff that you're saying, these people are really helping the economy, and like they're helping the workforce. They really are. Like, no matter how you feel about them, no matter how much you don't like them, and I'm not saying you by yourself, B, I'm just talking
Yeah.
about people, period. No matter how much you don't like them or how much you don't care for them, they still have a place in this society, and they still are literally helping the society, just because they know, for one, that if they mess up, they know they have a high possibility of getting shipped out. So these are people that's on the low trying to just take care of their family. Yes, some of these families are bigger than normal families that the American people are used to, but that just means that person is going to bust their ass even more to help their family and to try to leave yours alone. Those are the kind of people. Yeah, you said the gangs and stuff. We still got Bloods. We still got Crips. We got other nationalities and gangs that do stupid stuff and try to take over stuff too. So why are we not trying to get them out? Because they're not Mexican. That's what it boils down to. And just because that picture has been painted, and just why now? Like, it's 2025. Why now? All these years that we've been coexisting with all these people, and like I said, they've been helping us for all this time. Why now? Because
Why now?
because he has to live up to what he been threatening to, and his power that he's obsessed with. So that's me personally what I think of. That's why now he has a point to prove, because he know after this he's done and can't come back. So he got to do everything possible to screw everything up now, because he's gonna have his hands off in a couple years.
Yeah, I mean, because look, why now? Because it's a problem. I mean, it's more than ever. Like, it's more than ever just coming across, and you don't know who's coming across, who's doing what. It's just a lot of mixture of people. And again, those people, they were sitting here 1 year go by. You here illegally. 2 years go by. 3, 4, 5, 10. You didn't do what you needed to do. It go back to, and now I'm gonna throw myself under the bus. I was driving drunk. I was driving drunk for years. I could drive drunk. We know we could drive drunk. One day, bloop, got pulled over. I could say, "Hey, officer, I drove drunk for years." It didn't matter. It didn't matter that I could drive. I broke the law. So guess what happened? I broke the law. You could press your luck and break the law all you want, but you got to realize that you are breaking the law, whether you're an immigrant, whether you're a U.S. citizen. And if you repeatedly break the law, it's a chance that you will get caught.
Exactly.
So just be correct.
But now, flip this, what I just said. Since you did break the law, there are programs and things to help you recuperate, to get better, and to learn to not break that law again. They just didn't say, hey, Byron broke the law. He's done here. He has to go. It's systems and things incorporated and in place to help you learn from that decision and move on from that decision to what, in their own words, to be a better working citizen, or to be a better person, so to say. So it can go both ways. Like, everything you're saying, I totally get. I'm not arguing nothing you're saying, but I'm just saying it's another side to it that can also help, instead of just saying that's just like the police brutality on the black people. Oh, well, he was running, he was resisting arrest. So does that mean he needs to die, or does that just mean you need to arrest him and then teach him a lesson? Just don't kill him. That's the same thing. That's all I see it as.
And my scenario is the same thing, because guess what happened? No, I didn't get deported, but guess what I lost? My license for a year. And I had to go through programs to get my license back. Exactly. The same way these people being deported, they can come back the proper way. Same thing. Get your license back. Go through the program. I had to go to weekend jail. I had to go through programs. I had to sit with folks that was on stuff. I had to go through the proper channels, and I couldn't sit up. Yeah, I was pissed off, but at the end of the day, it was like, B broke the law. So this was the penalty. I lost my license. It ain't had nothing to do with no racism or nothing. No people, oh, it's racist. I broke the law, so I couldn't even argue it. You know what I mean? So look, that was it. Same thing. They losing their license to be here legally. Come back legally. Come back correct. Or y'all can marry him. Well, you can't marry him because you already married. Zen, you are single, so you can marry you a nice immigrant.
He keep throwing the marriage at you, Zen.
90-day fiance.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I say we'll definitely be on different sides on that one. All right, fellas. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit of sports, fellas. So, all right. So this past weekend, or this past Sunday, was Championship Sunday. So we now know what our Super Bowl will be. It will be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And we can get into the breakdown of the game since they got a bye week before that. We'll get into that and give you selections next week. But I want to talk about these games. So got to talk about the main event first, of course, which was the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. And yet again, the Kansas City Chiefs come up short in another hard-fought game, 32-29.
The Bills, the Bills came up short.
Ooh, I said the Chiefs. My bad.
It's
The
all right.
Bills came up short again. Yeah, the Bills came up short again to the Kansas City Chiefs, 32-29. Pat Mahomes goes to the Super Bowl for the 5th time in 6 years as a starter. It's an impressive run himself. We'll get to that, but I want to start on the losing side. So, Coach E. So we got the Bills that keep coming up against this juggernaut and can't get over the hump. Buffalo Bills, people familiar with their history know about the 90s and the Jim Kelly years, them going to 4 straight Super Bowls and never able to win it. And the talk around, or the little scuttlebutt, is that maybe they need to get rid of their coach. Now we know back in the 90s with Jim Kelly, and they had they franchise quarterback and they couldn't get over the hump. They chose to stick with their coach, Marv Levy, and ride that out. Now, you got another generational talent at quarterback in Josh Allen that needs to get over this hump. Do you sit back and let Sean McDermott go through his lumps and maybe one day he can get over that hump, a la Ryan Day this year at Ohio State? Or do you say, okay, Sean, you've done everything that you could do. I think it's time for us to go in a different direction and see if we can find somebody that can get us over this hump, because you know what they say, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So if you're the Buffalo Bills, how would you approach that situation?
Well, I'm 100% keeping Sean McDermott, the Radio Hermit. All you Martin fans know that was the Radio Man name on Martin, Sean McDermott. But anyway, I'm not firing him whatsoever, because it just happens to be horrible timing for him and this franchise, because you got to keep running into this team in this franchise. So it's not like he's doing anything wrong. They continuously are there. It's just Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, and friends on the other side. So it's like, if you fire him, who are you going to get to keep you at that same consistency level? And I understand the definition of insanity, yeah, to a certain extent, but you literally are right there. And the reason why you can't get over being right there is Patrick Mahomes just happens to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So it's just horrible timing, horrible luck, but you are literally right there. You constantly lose these games, either the last possession or the last quarter, or something freaky happens for you to go on the wrong side of the stick. I wouldn't fire him whatsoever. I think he's doing a good job for constantly having a great team and being right there.
Now, let me be a little bit of a devil's advocate. Some would say, man, the last time you faced each other in the playoffs, it came down to 13 seconds.
13 seconds.
And you still couldn't deliver us the victory with just 13 seconds. You couldn't hold on to that victory for 13 seconds. Then you come here, 3.5 minutes left in this one, with an opportunity to take that for us, and you come up short. Some may look back at some of the decisions that you made during this game. 4th and short, constantly sticking with the QB sneak, the tush push, where they was clearly, Tony Romo called it earlier. He calling it from the booth. He's able to see it that, man, going over the left guard, it's not working. They know your tendencies, they'd all over it, but you continuously keep running that same play over and over again, and it costs you on a pivotal drive where you come up short because you're trying to run that same play. You could look back and be like, we might need to get somebody in here that's better equipped for these situations. If we sit back and try to ride it out, we may close this window on a perfect opportunity that we have right now. I'm like, that's just me playing devil's advocate, Coach E.
And I hear you, Lucifer. But what I'm saying is that, not you personally, but Lucifer's advocate. I'm gonna still say the same thing. Like, what do you want? That 13-second? Dude, if it was any other quarterback or any other team that was on the other side, absolutely that game is over
Right.
in those 13 seconds. No question in my mind, no doubt in my mind. It just happened to be the best quarterback of this generation on that other side that pulls rabbits out of the hat every freaking week consistently for the last 7, 8 years, dude. So I don't know what McDermott could have done to stop that. Like what could he have done?
Not a damn thing.
Coach E, but you, the ultimate competitor, Coach E,
Absolutely.
you just gonna be like, man, oh well, it's Pat Mahomes, man. Hey, we just gotta take that. We gotta eat this one because it's Pat Mahomes. Hey, fellas, y'all just did y'all best, man. But that's Pat Mahomes. We man, that's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. That's it. You being the ultimate competitor that you are, you're gonna accept that.
And you know what's so sad, Zen? That you don't realize how much that gets said in locker rooms. And I'm not just saying the Patrick Mahomes thing. I'm talking about if you play in the team, let's just say since it's high school basketball season, you play in a team and you know they have a guy that averages 35 points. You keep him to 20 points and some other guy scores a career high and hits the game winner. You literally go in the locker room and say, "Hey, y'all did y'all best. Y'all played your heart out. We stopped who we needed to stop. But the guy that hit the shot, you just got to tip your hat. It was his day." Like literally, that gets said so much in any locker room, in every sport, in every situation. Period. It may sound funny, but that's just literally the truth. There's no other way to put it. There's no other way to try and break it down to make people understand. And the players know it too themselves. They so every post game interview, especially in a situation like that, it's a great team over there, but they just got that guy, man. Somebody has to figure out a way to beat that guy. It's just the truth and the reality of that situation. It sucks as a competitor, yes, but deep down inside, you just know how people felt about Jordan. They just got that guy over there. There's nothing we could do about that guy. So, yeah, sadly enough, you do say that.
Okay.
Indeed. Can I jump in now, Zia?
Yeah,
I
man.
felt
Go
some
ahead.
discrimination, man, because I ain't with the immigrants, man. I felt some discrimination.
Whatever, dude.
You know, he wasn't
I
even
just
looking
had
my way.
an angle that I just wanted to flush out with Coach E first before you jumped in. Go for it, bro.
Oh man, look, first off, I felt so bad for Josh Allen. He to me played the perfect game and he was just sitting there on the sideline. I saw his soul leave his body. He was just like he took that breath like not again. Cause this reminded me of back in the 80s when the Browns with Kozar used to get to Denver and Elway. We had great teams. We had Webster Slaughter. He was great. Kozar, great tandem. But we just kept falling short to damn Elway. But to your point, Zen, you see what happened when we broke up Marty Schottenheimer. We ain't been back to the AFC Championship since. We haven't, have we? Correct me if I'm wrong. And Marty was getting us there damn near every year, but it was just that dude. Same with the Cavs. We had Jordan, that dude. Then we had that dude in LeBron with the great Toronto teams, Indiana, Golden State came back from 3-1. So saying all that to say, man, Josh, he played a perfect game. That tush push, it's a stupid play. I can't stand it, but it's at the same time it's effective because you got a big long quarterback pause and he was just doing his thing until they stopped it. They stopped it on a crucial part. Kelsey didn't do much. I don't think it was nothing else he could do, man. It's just Kansas City, man. They got that devil magic. They got Taylor Swift, devil, Patrick Mahomes, devil, Kelsey, devil.
Ouch.
1-5 equals 6, devil. It's just devil. So
Sheesh.
they will win the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
Yeah. But Coach E, man, tell me what's your thoughts on this whole tush push being the new evolution of short down yardage situations. Cause if you can't get your guys, line them up, hand it off to a running back, and get you 1 yard. It's something to be said, like, man, that you got to rely upon this. Like, it's cool for the Eagles. That's cool for them. But that's not necessarily what everybody need to be running in the league, man. Somebody need to be able to hand it off to a running back, and your offensive line should be able to get you 1 yard, just flat out point blank. So, what's your take on McDermott and his shortcomings in those short yardage situations?
I agree they should be able to hand off the ball and get a yard from a natural tailback position, but just like B said, Josh Allen is a big dude. And if you can't be under center and fall forward and get me that yard, because Buffalo, I really wouldn't call theirs a tush push. Now, Philly, 100%. That's a tush push. They have it down to a science. They even line up in a way that it is, I don't want to say impossible because I've seen it get stopped twice, but then they end up still getting the first down on fourth down. But I've seen this get stopped on like third, so I don't want to say impossible, but 98% chance that you're either getting that touchdown or you're getting that first down with that Philly definition of the tush push, because they literally push the tush. But Buffalo, they just have to find a way to get it done. Like, I don't know how, I don't know what. First of all, they need to worry about the defensive side of the ball. The defensive side of the ball needs a more dominant pass rusher. That's what Buffalo is missing, seriously. Because Von Miller is up there in age. He was the shit back in the day. In the back in the day, Von Miller would have had an impact on that game like no other. Just the way that he did with the Cam Newton game, that Super Bowl, when he was with the Broncos and Cam was with the Panthers. He put his imprint on that game like crazy. Cam couldn't do nothing without seeing Von Miller in his face. So that's what they're missing on that defensive side. Secondary, decent to good. I wouldn't say great. I'll just say decent to good. Linebacking core, good. Defensive line, decent, not overzealous good. So they need to worry about that defense first. The offense, no problem, because they got Josh Allen and whatever receivers that he just has. Everybody thought it was over after Stephon left, but I think they actually were a better team since he left. So defensive side of the ball, pass rusher side, that's what they need to look at. Maybe that is what can get them over the hump to get Patrick uncomfortable. But until they do that, I think they're just going to be stuck in the same spot if that's what they need.
Okay. Let me go over to you, Mr. Taboo Timmons, since you said I ain't show you enough love.
And now you got affirmative action, huh?
Yeah, I
you
got
affirmative
action.
action.
Yeah, we're going to DEI you real quick. All right. So
That's illegal.
all right. So let's talk about these Kansas City Chiefs. So, you know, for those who've listened to the pod, since we've had our battles when it comes to quarterback coach combinations. So I want to go and when it comes to the debate of who's the greatest of all time when it comes to basketball. So I want to do this as far as when it comes to Pat Mahomes. So right now, Pat Mahomes is in line to win his fourth title in three in a row. Be the first quarterback ever to win 3 in a row. Tom Brady, 7 titles altogether. People are saying because this one wouldn't be this, with him being able to accomplish a feat that nobody else has been able to accomplish, that his 4 could possibly trump Tom Brady's 7. And I know we do that when it comes to the GOAT debate in basketball. There's a lot of other things with basketball as well, but that's one of the things that we talk about when it comes to LeBron. LeBron was able to win in Cleveland, break the curse of 52 years here in Cleveland. You know, doing that's like a force multiplier right there. So I'm wondering, in your eyes, let's start there. Would Patrick Mahomes winning 3 in a row, being the first ever to do that, would that be a force multiplier? And you would consider him the GOAT already with just 4?
Boy, you is a sneaky son of a gun, boy. I will tell you. I know what you're doing right there. I know this is like a trap. This is a trap,
I know
B.
Brady, your boy.
This is
I'm a
a trap.
Brady.
It ain't just an extension of Brady. I know what you're doing with the Brown and Jordan debate, Zen. I'm playing chess too. But I'm gonna say hell to the no. Patrick ain't to go over Brady because you still got, and even the coaching combination of Belichick and Brady, they got more wins, more playoff wins than all of them combined, even the great Vince Lombardi. But also, my man Brady went to another city, got that chip, went to Tampa Bay, got that chip, first year. And next year he threw for 5,000. Patty, you got a long way to go. Yeah, Patty a bad boy. He could do some magic. But if he was away from Andy Reid, could he still bring that magic? If he was away from Gronkowski, can he still, even though Grunk didn't do much this game, but he
You
has
mean
some other
Kelsey?
cats out there. Kelsey, yeah, Grunk, that guy, the same guy, big white guy. Did I ever tell you I thought he was Dean Wade? Oh no, I
Yes,
did
you
tell y'all
did.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, big white guy. So, hey, can he do the same thing without him? Can he go somewhere else and bring a chip and have this Patty Mahomes magic? We don't know. We may never know because I don't think Kansas City ever gonna get rid of him.
So, Coach E, how much would you say the success of this Chiefs dynasty, if you had to put a percentage on it, goes to Pat Mahomes, and how much of it goes to the workings of Andy Reid?
Mm-hmm. Good one.
This might sound crazy. I'm going to go 70-30 Mahomes. I know a lot of people will probably disagree with that because Andy Reid is coming up with the plays and calling the plays, but you still have to have that person that executes
Mm-hmm.
these plays at a very high level consistently. And that he's proven to do that ever since he started playing in the freaking league. Ever since he sat down that time behind Alex Smith, they actually thought Alex Smith was teaching them something. They was just letting him sit on ice for a little bit. But ever since he came in the game, he has been playing the way he's been playing. And the crazy part, when he was at Texas Tech, nobody saw none of this. I can honestly say I did not see this coming whatsoever.
That was in.
You
See?
did
Yeah, I
this
definitely
in?
did. Oh yeah, I definitely seen it. Yeah. The game where he threw for 500 yards against Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was saying I was hoping the Browns, because we had 2 draft picks in that first round that year when he came out. I was like, man, I wish they if because I thought the way things was going as far as the board, Deshaun would be off the board, and then I was like, well, that Pat Mahomes dude, man, he got a crazy arm. I was like, man, that would be nice. I was like, people don't be talking about him, but of
See,
course it went the other way. Kansas City had the foresight, saw what I was seeing. They moved up to 10 and chose him ahead of Deshaun Watson.
you saw the arm, but I'm talking about everything that he's been doing. There's no way you saw 4 Super Bowls by the age of 29 in that Texas Tech kid. Absolutely. I'm not going to argue
Nah, not
about
to
you
that
with the
extent.
arm.
Nah.
Yeah, that's as far as what I'm talking about. The talent in like the run and gun shoot offense, yeah, absolutely. He can put numbers up, but that translating into the winning that it has translated to, I never seen this coming whatsoever. So that's why I always say that's why the Chiefs is my number 2 team. I've been saying this for years, so it's not like I'm jumping on the bandwagon. I've been saying this. I've been preaching the Patrick Mahomes gospel. So I'm not surprised whatsoever what he is continuously doing. And with that question that you asked B, with this title right here, put him as the GOAT. I believe it doesn't. But if he wins one more, he doesn't have to equal the 7 to me in order to be the GOAT. If he gets this 3 in a row and then they lose next year and then lose another year after that, and then he gets another one, I will go ahead and put him in front of Tom after that. But it's going to take more than him just winning this one. Yeah, that 3 in a row is going to speak volumes. Absolutely. That's a clear cut number 2. There's nothing you could do to take that away or argue that. But if he gets another one after this 3rd in a row, it don't have to be 4 in a row. If he just gets another one, period, after this 3rd in a row, absolutely the GOAT by leaps and bounds. because he's only 29.
Whoa,
He still had. Tom Brady played to how old?
Long time.
Yeah,
And-
42,
Okay.
43, something like that. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
And I'm not.
35.
And I'm not saying Patrick gonna play that long, but let's just say if he make it to 36, 37, that's still a long time, man. So, yeah, if he wins this one and another one, that's the GOAT.
He could fall off. But whoa. E, you know what else you've been saying for years? It ain't the X's and O's, it's the Joes. No, that's what you
Yeah.
just said. You always say, oh yeah, damn, you do say it all that.
Yeah,
You say it, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sleepy.
he's still
gotta-
consistent.
Look, I had you. Yeah, I'm sleepy. I got up for daddy and daughter donut day today at school. God damn it. You do say it ain't the X's and O's, it's the Joes. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess it stands.
All right. So let's talk about their competition, which would be the Philadelphia Eagles. They manhandled the Washington Commanders and old Jaden Daniels and Cliff
Commanders.
Kingsbury.
Mm-mm.
I act like
Commanders.
Cliff Kingsbury, the head coach. He just OC. He just offensive coordinator. But I still like to kick him whenever I get a chance. So hey, them what is it? The Philadelphia Eagles wasn't the Detroit Lions, Coach E. Hey, they had something for your boy. They had something for your boy. Look, I know you ready. Go ahead, Coach E. I'm gonna let you go ahead and defend your boy real quick before I ask my question. Go ahead, man.
Everything you just said, I totally disagree with. I just do. Yes, the score at the end of the day looks so horrible, but that's just to the common fan that just sat there and watched the game and never really paid attention to it. If you watch that game like thoroughly, dude, without those 3 fumbles that led to 21 points, that's a totally different game. And Jaden Daniels still played good and still could have won that game without those 3 fumbles. That had nothing to do with him. That had nothing to do with Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury even called a good game. They started off on that opening drive, 2 straight 4th down conversions to keep the drive going. And if you look at his numbers, he was 29 of 48, 255, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. That was the first interception of his postseason career, meaning his rookie year this year. And the only reason he passed 48 times was because they were so far behind. They had to just void out the running game. So he had to keep throwing like that, and with a lot of drops and with a lot of dink and dunks, just because the Eagles was playing everything underneath and nothing deep. Those numbers reflect that. But if you translate that, once again, I'm going to keep harping on the fumbles. That first fumble was horrible. He had to tuck that ball away, and he didn't. Just running in the open field with the elbow disengaged from the body, the ball tucked up here, no ball security whatsoever. Then the kickoff fumble, that's just unexplainable. And then the other fumble, Austin Eckler, he never freaking fumbles. He never fumbles, and he fumbled and lost it. 21 points off of those fumbles, and that just killed the game. So I believe if it was just a regular flow of the game, it would have been way closer. And yes, I did pick the Commanders, so I did get that pick wrong. The fumbles just killed it. So without that, I think it was a total different game. But good job to the Eagles. I can't even hate on them because, like I said before, I love Saquon. And that first play of the game, that's why I text y'all, well, this game is going just the way I expected. They wasn't going to be able to stop Saquon, but he ain't going to beat him by himself. And he ended up not beating him by himself. Because he had 3 touchdowns, but the other 2 was like from the 10-yard line in. So, yeah, okay, whatever. But that first play, that's the Saquon that everybody loves and got used to this year, and that the Giants are so sad that they did that with. But whatever, that's their own ignorance. But, yeah, kudos to the Eagles, man. Good job, 55. That's a lot of points in the NFC Championship game. Any championship game, period. That's a lot of freaking points.
Cliff Kingsbury, for y'all that know, I'm putting it on record. I'm putting it on wax right now. Next year, he's the new Bobby Slowick. For those who don't know who that is, look it up. I'm going to leave it right there. All right. So, B.
I don't know who Bobby Slavic
Yep,
is.
that's what I say. Folks, I ain't even going to get into it.
Okay.
B. let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. How formidable of an opponent do you think they will be in this Super Bowl? I want to ask you that because you know the Buffalo Bills was a formidable opponent to the Kansas City Chiefs this past Sunday, and personally, I kind of think that the Super Bowl was this past Sunday. Do you feel the Philadelphia Eagles could be as much of a formidable opponent to the Chiefs as the Bills, or are you like me in that the Super Bowl was this past weekend and everything else is just a formality?
Well, I'm like you. The Super Bowl just happened because Philadelphia has no chance in hell. They got
Damn.
no chance. But I will say one big but. If they come out running Saquon Barkley, I think Jalen Hurts can actually mess the game up trying to do too much, trying to pass too much. Looked like Buffalo had figured something out. I guess that was what in the third quarter, when they kept running the ball, especially after they stopped Patrick No. And it was
Uh-uh.
like they found some magic. Look like what was that in the fourth?
Yeah, no, you was right. It was the third quarter, but if you look
Yeah,
at the numbers, they still didn't run enough. Cook only had 13 carries.
yeah, because it seemed like they switched the game up. They switched gears. Like, okay, we don't want to get in a shootout with this dude, but maybe if we beat up the defense on the front line, wear them down a little bit, kill the clock, go to that whole thing. That's what I saw. I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. Which I don't know. How's the run defense for Kansas City? Where
It
they rank?
it with that defense, screw the ranks. It doesn't matter. It just depends on what mood they're in, and they got
Yeah,
a dynasty on the line. So I think they'll be in a better mood. And plus, they came out healthy from the whole season. They came out
hmm
healthy. So, like I was saying earlier in the year, they just been playing possum with everybody until they really needed it. This game against the Buffalo Bills was the most complete game that they've actually played with the high intensity level. They still had some lulls going up and down and just checking out here and there. They're good enough to do that and rebound from it. But this was the first game that they ramped themselves up in order to make that statement. So the Eagles might be on the bad end of a perfect game, honestly, because they are due for
yeah,
a perfect game. Because that offense still, they scored 32 points, but they left a lot of opportunities on the field. They could have scored damn near the 55 that the Eagles scored. So
yeah.
without, if I know I don't want to get too far into the prediction and breaking down the Super Bowl, but if the Eagles turn the ball over, it could get ugly. If they don't, they're
Right.
just going to try and bleed the clock and just do what you just said Buffalo should have did.
Yeah. So I real quick, Zen, I'll give you if they got any chance, the only thing they got to do is run the ball. Just run the ball down their throats. Run, run, run. Don't get too cute passes when they stack the box, go over top like Jalen can. Don't let Jalen pass too much because he will lose the game. You got to play perfect against those boys, just like everybody knows and Josh Allen said.
Okay, okay. All right, all right. So we done touched on some football. Let's get out of here on some basketball. There's a couple things I want to talk about when it comes to basketball. So first, since you wearing the hat, let's talk about those Cavs, Cavs, Cavs. So it's been a rough month. 8-5 so far in the month of January. Worst month so far this season. Coach E called for some adversity. We got a 3-game losing streak that they were able to snap against the Detroit Pistons. We also have the trade deadline coming up next week as well too. So I know you fellas from the text messages stand on opposite ends on this, but
Indeed.
after a month like this January, did we learn something about the Cavaliers this month? And if so, with the trade deadline coming up next month, do you feel there's a move that needs to be made going forward for the stretch run?
You want me to go first?
You got the hat on.
We ain't we ain't learned. The only thing we learned is that Mobley is more valuable than what y'all want to admit. The other ponies in the stable definitely more valuable. Again, Isaac Okoro hurt. We had Karis LeVert down. Those are key pieces off the bench. We got Mobley. Mobley playing. They fit. Uh, Now that does worry me a little bit because the good thing about this team is when people go down, other people step up. Ty Jerome, he stepped up the other night. He did his thing, went 8 for 8 in the loss. One of them games was purely Darius Garland. He just high free throw shooter, just blew it. And the game the other night, Mitch had a clean look too. So I'm not too worried. I'm not jumping off the bandwagons, as you can see. No, we do not need, and I stand 10 toes. We don't need to break the team. We don't need to trade Cam Thomas. Stay your ass in Brooklyn. We don't want you. So to me, I'm good. I'm good with our guys. The only thing I need in this is for my boy Sam Merrill to wake up. I don't know what happened to his jumper, but that's the only thing I need. Rest of it, I'm satisfied. Still number one.
I'm on
They not number one no more. They lost that number one spot overall in the league. They now
You
number
sure?
2 to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
Still got
OKC
number one in the
been losing
East,
too.
but overall they number 2.
Mhm.
But
never
go
said
ahead,
that.
Coach G.
OKC been losing too.
No, they
They
actually
lost.
haven't. They lost a couple,
Nah.
not 3 in a row, but they are number one in the league. We still number one in the East. But yes, Zen, we did learn a lot on this. And the adversity I was calling for still ain't hit yet. A 3-game streak, that really is not bad. Like, especially with the red hot start you got off to. It's the NBA. It's 82 games in the regular season. Dude, you start the season around Halloween and you play all the way past Easter. Like, the playoffs start around Easter. That's a very long time. So a lot of ups and downs are going to happen. So I don't even consider that as a down. I just consider that the NBA season catching up to them finally. But yes, we learned we need an athletic wing, B. I am going to keep it real. Karis LeVert is not hurt. He is the bait for this trade. Whatever trade they're going to make, he's clearly involved in it, or he would have been playing. Cam has not been playing in Brooklyn as well. You can draw those lines. You can connect those dots if you want to. But I've been paying attention to that. Karis is not hurt. They just don't want him to get hurt, so they can't trade him. Mark my words, it's coming. Don't know if it's Cam or not, but I really think it's a high possibility that it is. And then that Houston game told us a lot. Well, both Houston games told us a lot. The particular young man I was telling you about, B, a man Thompson. Did you see his numbers last night?
Triple dub. Oh, last night against the Celtics.
Yes.
Yeah, he had 33, I believe.
Yes. 33 in the game winning shot. And this is a young man they don't even have to run plays for. He just gets those points and those rebounds and those assists just off of pure playing his role and being a hustle person and being a great athlete that he is and doing his thing on the defensive end as well. So I'm not saying we need a superstar because we clearly don't. We have 2.5 superstars. I'll give Mobley the half until he proves it a whole year and then the postseason. Garland and Mitchell.
Okay.
Yeah. They clearly are 2 stars now. I can't be that ignorant and say they're not stars. 2.5. But that game that you're talking about where he froze up at the free throw line is deeper than what you just see on TV, man. That game, the way they finished, they got selfish. They can't play like that. They are too little to play selfish basketball in winning time. You need that ball movement that we always see every single game, all game, to win a game like that. Because that's how we play. That's how we're supposed to play. And if you get that ball at the top of the key in a little person's hands and he just dribble and trying to take somebody off the dribble, you got 4 people just looking at you and you can't go in the hole and do anything because you're little. So I would prefer them move the ball just like they've been doing. Open shot, just like you used to say a couple years ago. We got plenty of people to make the shot. We just got to move the ball. We have to trust in each other to do that. We haven't got to that point yet in clutch situations. So that's the part we need to grow from. And in order to grow from that, we're going to have to be in more clutch situations in order for us to trust each other that each other is going to hit that shot. And Sam Merrill's jumper has left just because he's just a role player, man. Yeah, he's a good shooter in certain situations, but It's getting kind of tough. He's on a 2-way contract for a reason. He's still on a 2-way contract. He still plays in the G League. So he's going to have to get a lot better in order to have a full-time spot on the full roster on the big boy league in order to help us down the stretch. But we just need more adversity. I'm still going to say it. That 3-game spot just wasn't enough. We didn't get down in the dumps too much. In those games that we lost, it was just we lost them. Like the Darius Garland thing. If he hits those free throws, they win that game. Like clearly. So it's just we beat ourselves in a lot of those games. I'm talking about if we lose and lose and lose and lose by just getting our ass kicked, yeah, that's the adversity. But us beating ourselves, that can always be fixed. So I want to see them fix a real problem, not just a 3-game skid or whatever.
Well, I water the grass on something real quick because you did bring up something that I didn't think you was gonna see. That whole thing, and I think it's this all-star mentality. I kind of can't wait till this all-star game is over because I too noticed that when you texted. I was like, oh damn. But even before then, I mean, it came down that game. It's been happening sometimes with a rotation to stop, and it's mostly between those two,
Mm-hmm.
the backcourt, Garland and Mitchell. I thought they was past that this year, but it's like they're going back to that, And Mitchell sometimes is guilty too, because sometimes he'll just fire that boy, And it's like, dude, what is that? So I hope it's not this all-star thing.
No, it's not whatsoever. You got to remember, these are NBA players, B. Because if you go to any other team, people still do that. You still got that problem with Tatum and Brown. They still do that. You still got that problem with Giannis and Dame. You still got that problem with any other two-headed superstars around the league. But it's just more noticeable when we do it just because of our size. It's so like that. You think it just be jokes that I be saying, but that stuff is so true. The bigger guys can get away with that. Go to the hole, draw a foul. You tend to not give a call to a littler guy because he's already at such a disadvantage. He's just trying to force you to make the call instead of going to get the call, if you understand what I'm saying. A bigger guy can attack the hole with so much veracity, and then when they get fouled, he's like, oh, damn, that's clearly a foul. Let me call that. Instead of just dribble, bail out, shoot a 3, dribble, bail out, fade away, dribble, floater. That stuff, that's just not winning basketball, especially not in the NBA, because it's a make or miss league, like they always say, and you are tending to miss those shots because they are forced shots, just trying to prove, like, yeah, hey, this is my team, blah, blah, blah. I'm a superstar in the NBA. I don't think it has anything to do with, like, the all-star votes. That's just NBA players' mentality.
Because Darius, I thought he was off of it, but then he kind of going back. Because in that situation, I think Donovan is better as far as going to the hole because of that stronger base he got. Like he's like he's got a stronger build. It's like a little running back or something. Darius, he's smaller. He gonna get pushed around a little bit more. And that's kind of what they did on that play, and they do that a lot if you notice. Like he'll go to the hole and just get bullied out the ball sometimes if he don't beat that first man. But if it's if they meet him and sandwich him, that's it. So I just seen a couple times where he'll just have that look off, like, and Donovan's calling for the ball, like, give me the ball. And he's looking him off. And then that play too where they threw it away, and Donovan was sorry about that. And Kenny didn't want to throw. Somebody messed it up. Yeah, somebody messed it up. Kenny didn't want to throw him under the bus, but somebody fucked up. So, I just hope it ain't messing with the chemistry. That's all, because to me, that's all important is that chemistry.
Chemistry is going to be there with that core 4. That's the only chemistry you need to be worried about. Everybody else is literally role players. They just have to fit in with that core 4. So if they fit in with the core 4, no matter where they come from, they just got to play their role. That's literally it. So the chemistry, you shouldn't have to worry about that at all, because it's not about to be one of them getting traded. Now, if one of them get traded, absolutely, they got to redo the chemistry, but they're going to be cool.
Yeah.
I got a quick thing that I want to say. So I hear people talk about it, and my pops brings this up as well too, about when it gets to crunch time and the individual play. And I'm not on the side where I'm offended by it. I actually like it because I always think about Kevin Durant and when he left Golden State. And when you brought that up, it made me think about it because he comes from the same offense that Kenny Atkinson is running right now.
Mhm.
And I had to pull up that quote. So this was after he left Golden State and he had just torn his Achilles and he had just signed with the Brooklyn Nets. And he was reflecting back on his time in Golden State. And so he had said this. He said that motion offense we run in Golden State, it only works to a certain point. We can totally rely on our system for maybe the first 2 rounds. Then the next 2 rounds, we're going to have to mix in individual play. And that's where I'm like, when it comes to crunch time, I'm like, yeah, somebody got to be able to go and get a bucket. And we got 2. Unfortunately, for both of our guys who can go and get a bucket, they 6'1". And that's the only downside to that.
Mhm.
That's why I am on the Cam Johnson train simply because he's 6'8".
Mhm.
He's 6'8". He can shoot the 3. He will fit in perfectly in what I feel. It would take some time to get acclimated or whatnot, but I think he will fit in with this style of offense. He can hit the 3. He can still go and drive the ball, get to the bucket and whatnot. And he's a perimeter defender. And you're going to need a long perimeter defender. That's what the problem that we have as far as what you consider your defenders. Your Isaac Okoros, he's only 6'5". If you want to call Karis LeVert a defender, I've heard people say that he's a defender as well.
Nope.
Same thing, same height.
Max Strus.
You need somebody.
Little.
Yeah, he's little as well too. Strus as well. He's in the same boat. With this, you actually got some height. And so if Donovan is having some issues that we need to switch out on, we got somebody that could actually do that. That's what I like about the possibility of getting Cam Johnson. Now, the price tag might be too much. From the rumors,
Right.
Brooklyn wants 2 first-round picks. I know the Cavs ain't got that.
Mhm.
So if that's what it's going to cost, unfortunately, we won't be able to get to flip the bill for that unless my man Kobe Altman figures out a way to talk him down or be able to manipulate a third team or a fourth team even maybe to make it happen. But that's why I like the Cam Johnson. If it's gonna happen, something tells me it's not gonna happen. But coming into this trade deadline, if they don't get that, is there any other need outside of that? Because I personally think they need a backup big. They definitely need a backup big, like George Niang at 6'7". It's not gonna work.
Mhm.
They need somebody else. And Tristan Thompson, I'm sorry, brother. You got the effort. You get an A for effort, brother. You get a
Mhm.
gold star.
Mhm.
But, bruh, you ain't bringing much to the table, bruh, except 6 fouls. So I think that's something. If they can't do that, or what would you say was more of a pressing need, a backup big or the wing?
The biggest need, definitely the wing, but I do feel you on that backup big because after Jared Allen and Mobley, you really got nothing. And the way they push him, Mobley, they were trying to make him, I don't want to say more perimeter oriented, but they trying to give him a lot more responsibilities on the perimeter, which is taking him away from the basket, which is essentially leaving Jared Allen down there. You see a lot of these games, he has to be the rim protector solely by himself, unless Evan Mobley comes from behind and block a lot of his shots that he do like that. But that in turns put Jared Allen in a lot of foul trouble some of these games. So yeah, absolutely. You're definitely gonna need a backup big, which shouldn't be too hard to get or expensive at all. Just somebody gonna get waived at the trade deadline either, but a body is a body on the big side. But that wing, way more important.
But you would think they would have already addressed this. This was the same issue last season, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
didn't address it.
Yeah,
That's
well.
why I'm like, here we go, season number 2, and you still haven't addressed it. That's why it make me wonder, like, is it harder to define than that it seems to us? Because it must be because they still haven't addressed it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they waiting on Bates. Me personally, I mean, he ain't a
He ain't
big,
no big.
but he's 6'8". He ain't a big, but he's 6'8". I mean, Tristan 6'9".
Mm-mm.
A lot of these
That's
bigs
a-
ain't bigs. Like y'all tell it. Y'all be talking
No,
about the 6'9" dudes.
Bates fits the wing situation. If Bates was ready and ready to go, we wouldn't even be having to talk about having to go out and get a wing.
At
But
all.
he's not there yet. because right now it's a rookie. What's his name? Tyson getting more tick than him. So
Yeah.
that tells
Tyson
me his
ballin', though.
development still
Yeah.
ain't where it needs to be. In his, are we? I think we're in year. Is it year 2 or are we in year 3?
Year
Which
3.
one?
Oh, it's
Year
2?
2. Year 2.
Oh,
Year
okay,
2.
okay.
Okay, so we in year 2. So maybe by year 3 he'll be ready to assume those roles, and maybe that's why they wouldn't pull the trigger on a Cam Johnson, because they feel they might have that potentially in Bates. So, but go ahead, E.
What I've been hearing about the Monty Bates situation, they waiting for that off the court stuff to get more mature. It's not the question on the court.
Okay.
It's just the off the court stuff. You got to keep in mind, the boy's still 20, so he do a lot of
Yeah.
young stuff. The posting on social media, the cryptic messages, and the just the way he lives his life, his entourage, the company he keeps. So they wait for that stuff to go by the wayside so he can grow up and mature. Then they'll trust him. But it's still questions about them trusting him just because of the decisions he's making off the court.
Yeah, and it don't help that he's from Ypsilanti, which is what, like 2.5 hours away. That don't take much for his people to come through at all. So
that's a one tank trip, dog.
For real, it is absolutely. Hey, all right. So real quick, I just want to touch on this and we get out of here. We ain't got to belabor this one. So I want to give shout out to LeBron James for being named the starter in this year's All-Star game, and also breaking a record for 21 consecutive All-Star nominations. So I just want to give him props on that. The thing was, he was named a starter. I don't have a problem with him being being an all-star. He's definitely deserving of it. The thing that concerns me, because I'm a basketball lover, and y'all have heard me talk about this in previous podcasts, the state of the game is concerning me because it's in a weird space right now. You know, low TV ratings. You know, you got teams combining to shoot over 100 threes a game, and then you wonder who's going to take over, who is he passing the torch to. You worry about that because people are not excited about the foreign players, him passing the torch to the foreign players. We don't know when another American-born MVP is going to be coming through the ranks. Maybe it's Cooper Flagg, who knows? But I'm just concerned. Here it is in year 21, and he's a starter, and there's nobody. If you're Adam Silver, does it not concern you that there's nobody? Even Jordan, in his final All-Star game, Vince Carter was the starter, and he was able to make it. I'm like, is it concerning to y'all fellas that, man, there's not been anybody to come through the ranks as of yet to where LeBron is still your starter in year 21?
Man, I got a simple answer to that. Law and Order still come on primetime TV, Zen. Why you call LeBron James Law and Order after 26 seasons? He's still on primetime TV. So that's what it is. Ain't nothing better. I mean, we thought we was hopeful it was Ant-Man, but where is he? Jimmy Butler, where is he? I mean, who is it? Because these foreign dudes suck. They're good fundamental players. Now, I'm going to sound real American right now. Call Ice. Get them out of here. Because they are, look, they good fundamentally, but they are weird dudes. They weird dudes. I don't like Luka. He smiled too much. He looked slow. I don't like Joker. He looked slow.
Hold on.
I don't like him.
You have been called to the rug on that Weird Dude Nation. Weird Dude Nation, you love to talk about them, but they on your team, and you seem to be okay, perfectly fine with it. You got somebody brought that to my attention that had to tell me, hey, man, make sure you bring that up to B. Hey, so I'm letting you know, you can talk that Weird Dude Nation stuff all you want, but you're a hypocrite. That's all I'm saying.
Americans. With Trump, we can be hypocrites now. No. They are Americans. No, look, and they on my squad. Cause look, Kyrie a weird dude. they weird dudes. Boston was weird dude nation. Yes, I didn't like them. They Boston. But those my boys. I don't like Luka. I like his skill, but he just smiled too much. Wemby is good, but don't like him either. He's French. I didn't like Tony Parker. I don't, man. I need some Americans, man, to step up. The American boys getting old, man. They got the way. So I'm with you. I'm with you. I love Brian, but yeah, where the new blood at? I mean, who is it? Y'all tell me these people, because these young dudes, I don't see no excitement. Man, it's just blah.
Yeah,
That man, them suck. They stink.
I don't know who it is, but I totally disagree with you on the Luka take. He's freaking awesome. So, and
he's great.
Wemby's awesome. Joker's awesome. Embiid's awesome when he plays once a year. But all these foreigners, I like them. I don't have any problem with them because they play the game how basketball is supposed to be played, in my opinion, honestly.
Well, you want to marry him then, since you like him so damn much. Marry him.
I'm taking.
Oh man! All right, fellas. I hear that sound. So you know what that means. Good pod. Hey, Coach E.
Southside.
Yes, sir. You got a post-game word for the people.
See. Shout out to all my Mexicans. All right, ladies and gentlemen, gather around, take a knee, all eyes on me. Today's word is everything has something to do with everything. Everything you do has something to do with everything you do. You may think it's a little step, but those little steps are going to build to your big steps. And those big steps are going to build up to huge habits. And those huge habits is going to change your life around. So you're sitting around I'm going back to these New Year resolutions. Stop it. Just make little changes to your life with everything you do. Take a step here in this section. If it got to do with some discipline stuff, go to brushing your teeth every night. Go to flossing your teeth every night. Go to reading a book every night. And those things you do consistently, you and your body is going to say, oh, wow, I love this consistency. Let me do this in other areas of my life. So you take that discipline to another area of your life. Next thing you know, your life is together. You are a better person. You are in a better situation than you were when you started. And other people around you are going to see that change in you and ask how you did it. And you give them that same formula. Everything has something to do with everything. So try it out. See what you can change. Go little by little. Do not get slowed or depressed by the little changes, because those little changes are going to be huge changes in the big scale of things. So just remember, everything got something to do with everything. Win on me, win on three. 1, 2, 3.
Win!
It sounds so sweet. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to another episode of Coach E Game for All Seasons. This was a good, in-depth conversation, especially at the beginning. If y'all missed it, go ahead, rewind it. Watch it. Listen to it. Email the show at gameforallseasons@gmail.com. Tell us your opinions. Tell us what you agree with and disagree with. But on some real stuff, D-Hud. Keep your head up, brother. I'm with you, man. Hit me whenever you need me. With that being said, see you next week.
Thank you for tuning in to Game for All Seasons with Coach E. Remember to hit the like or subscribe button on Coach E's YouTube channel. To listen on the go, download wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure to follow Coach E on Instagram, X, and TikTok at BigF216. Contact us at www.perfecttimefitness.com for one-on-one or group training sessions. Our theme music provided by Mr. Taboo Timmons on SoundCloud at Mr. Taboo Timmons. Once again, thanks for listening and see you next week.